Alright, Bills Mafia, what is good? Welcome to my Week 8 pregame preview video. This week we got our Buffalo Bills taking on the Green Bay Packers, and as always, you know we gotta talk about it. Right away, I want to jump into some problem players. You know who the first one's gonna be. It's Aaron frickin' Rodgers, baby. The back-to-back MVP. Having a bit of a slow start of the season. This Packers team is 3-4. They're not doing too great. They've already got their most losses in a season under Matt LaFleur, and the Bills will be looking to add to that. Now, you might look at Aaron Rodgers' season so far with the lackluster receiving core, which is one of the bottom in the league, honestly, and say, we're good. We don't need to worry about Aaron Rodgers. We're going to kick their ass, blah, blah, blah. This is like the definition of a trap. There's so many trap games this year, but this can be a game the Bills can lose. You can lose any game, any week. It's a week-to-week league. We got to take these guys serious, especially with a quarterback of Aaron Rodgers' caliber. Fortunately for Rodgers, he won't have Trey White covering any of his corners this week, but the rookie corners have stepped up. Surprise, even to my own surprise. You know, I came into the season thinking we're kind of screwed with these guys, but they have performed at an elite level in this defense. Even after losing Micah Hyde, they've still come through, those young guys, and who knows what they'll do against probably the worst receiving core they've played so far. On the opposite side of the ball, though, I have problem player number 2. It's Jaire Alexander, one of the league's top premier elite corners, and you never know where he's going to be. He's mostly going to spend his time lined up against Stephon Diggs, trying to lock him up, but we've seen what Diggs has already done to elite corners in this league this season. Jalen Ramsey. But different corners are going to have different techniques to guard you. They're going to read your release different, your get off, how, you know, it's all different. It also depends on the Packers' defensive game plan. How are they going to scheme to stop Diggs? You could also see Jaire Alexander lining up against Gabe Davis because he's proven to be a huge threat in this league, starting back with the KC game in the playoffs last year. Although I do think Jaire Alexander is going to split his time, I think he's going to spend well over 80% locking up Diggs. It's going to be a Gabe Davis show tomorrow. It's going to be a Gabriel Davis show on Sunday. Problem player number 3 for the Green Bay Packers, I got Aaron Jones. He's having a relatively similar season to what he did last year, just less touchdowns. I would definitely be more scared of Aaron Jones if this was the Bills defense last year where they just couldn't stop the run for the life of them. They've got the best run defense in the league so far this season, I believe. They might be second. They're top 3. At least, I know that. I'm definitely less scared knowing how we contain other guys like Derrick Henry, but he's still an elite player, an elite running back in this league, and you always got to be careful. You never know. Anybody can have a big game. They could scheme up something that just the Bills defense hasn't seen. He runs for a 1,000,000-yard touchdown. We don't know. He's still efficient. He averages over 4 yards to carry, and if the Packers can get Aaron Jones going, that really opens up the entire playbook for the Packers, and that's where I think they could cause the Bills defense some trouble. Now, as for pushovers this week, I have the Packers' big play offense. We haven't seen many big plays from Rodgers and co. this year, granted, because they don't have Davante Adams. They also lost Marquez Valdes-Scantling last offseason as well. Granted, he's not Davante Adams, but he's just someone that Rodgers is familiar with. How non-explosive this Packers offense is, I would expect the Bills defense to not play too high like they have most of the season against these strong-arm quarterbacks. When they play Patrick Mahomes, it's usually a lot of too high shell, cover 2 zone. But with how the Packers offense just isn't getting those deep balls, those big plays, you can put Jordan Poyer up high, put Jamar Hamlin, Jaquan Johnson, whoever's up there, and you can load the box to stop the run to just blow up their offensive game plan. If the Packers did start to rack up a couple big plays, you would obviously see the Bills go back into more too high shell, which is kind of where they're best at. Now let's talk offensive expectations for this game. The Packers' run defense is one of the worst in the league, and I fully expect the Bills to try finally to get their run game going somehow, some way. If this is going to be a Super Bowl winning team, you have to prove to the entire league that you can run the damn rock. You have to be able to run the ball down their throats, and you don't stop until you win the damn game. I want to see them run for 200, 300, 400, 10 million. I don't care. Run the goddamn ball. For once, Josh Allen cannot carry this team constantly with his legs, with his arm. The guys we have in the running back room are good enough to be a running back by committee. I don't think any of them are superstars or workhorses, but if you're going to do this little mixy match here, just give Devin Singletary all the snaps or split it by 33%. I don't care. I don't know why they haven't gotten James Cook more involved. Other than his fumble in the first game, he's looked pretty good. Even though I'm ranting at this point, the Bills genuinely need to figure out the run game. They are middle of the pack in rushing yards per game, but they still need to be more effective. We saw some good work last game with the Chiefs. They were running on them a lot early, but once the game got out of hand, you know, that you gotta chuck the ball. So I would expect a big game from guys like Devin Singletary, Josh Allen on the ground. Zach Moss doesn't really play, and James Cook, hopefully he gets some action. Now, as for expectations defensively, we cannot get caught up in the game the Packers just played against the Jets, where they only scored like 10 points, whatever it was. We are better than the Jets, we know that. But just because one team scores X amount of points on one team doesn't mean they won't score Y amount of points on the other team. The Ravens dropped 38 points or something like that on the Dolphins, and we only dropped 19. 17 on offense. To week league, different game plans, we can't get caught up in that. And Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. And even though I think Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers, I still think this Packers offense sucks. So even with Tre'Davious White still out for another week, the rookie corners, the young safety beside Jordan Poyer, they're going to step up and get the job done. Hopefully we see some sacks from Von Miller, baby, Ed Oliver. You know, they got to have a big game. Get in Rodgers' face, get him off platform, get him scrambling, get him moving to force some mistakes, which he doesn't make often. That could be the key in this game. That could be a key early in this game, is to force Rodgers to make a mistake, force him to throw an interception, which he doesn't really do, force a fumble, tackles for loss. You need those crucial plays on defense to win games like these. Now for a stat line prediction, I have Josh Allen going 24 for 33, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. And for a score prediction, I'm going to go with 45-17 Buffalo. I think the offense is going to have a huge game running. I think the defense is going to make plays when they need to, and I think this team can get the job done. Move to 6-1 and prevent the Jets from taking first in the division. Because if the Jets win and the Bills lose, Jets will be first because tied record, and they'd have more wins at that point in the season. So we got to win this game. It's more crucial than we think. You know, we always write off the Jets, who we're going to play next week, and they're not a bad team this year. Granted, I still think Zach Wilson, other than what he does off the field, he's not a great quarterback, but that's beside the point. We're here about the Packers, and the Bills are going to kick their ass. That's it for this video, Bills Mafia. Thank you so much for watching. I also want to thank you real quick for 100 subscribers. It means the world to me. Hopefully we can hit 1,000 by the end of the season. That would be crazy. Just thank you all. Like, I know these videos aren't the greatest right now. I'm new at this. I'm starting. I'm trying to talk sports to grow my career. My passion is talking Bills. I love football with my whole heart, and I hope you guys continue to give me the opportunity to speak to an audience and do what I love. And if you're still here, again, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and help us get to 1,000 subscribers. And as a wise man once said, go Bills.